just like, don't be a sheep. Just do what you want to do. And if it doesn't work, then ho hum. But at least you tried, you know. And if it didn't work, maybe try do it a different way. But if you have an idea and you think that it's going to work, then do it. And the other piece of advice is work out your niche. You know, that niche is so important, especially now. There's so many food bloggers. You need a niche.
That was Kay Featherstone, and this is episode number 127 of the Chopped Podcast. Hey everyone, I'm Marley of the blog Namely Marley. I am your host, and this is the Chopped Podcast. You know, this is the place for people just like you, bloggers who love food. Each week, my goal is to share with you thoughts, stories, interviews, everything related to food blogging so we can all learn together about what works with food blogging, and maybe even a little bit about what doesn't. So today I am recording this interview from the same place I always record it. However, my neighbor is getting a new roof. So if you hear some banging in the background, I have tried to wait for the time when maybe they would take a break or go to lunch or something, and it's just not happening. So I'm just going to record this. And if you hear a bunch of banging in the background, you're going to know what it's all about. Okay, I got to ask you a question before we get started. Are you blogging or are you building your tribe? I don't know that I even thought so much about the distinction between those two until today, until my conversation with Kay Featherstone. She is the guest on today's episode of the Chopped Podcast, and she is with the site Pinch of Nom. And I don't know, I think I really have just been following this model of just blogging. Like, you know, maybe today is the day to post a banana nut bread because it's that time of year, or, you know, it's the fall, so I'll post something that's pumpkin, or it's, you know, the spring, so I'm going to post spring food like raspberries and asparagus, things like that. I don't know that I have spent a lot of time thinking about the building your tribe kinds of sides of blogging until I talked with Kay a few days ago, and we talked about, you know, what's going on with her site. So let me give you a little background first. Kay reached out to me a couple of times through direct message on was it Twitter? I think it was Twitter, either Twitter or Facebook. I'm not certain, but I think it was Twitter. But anyway, her first message was, you know, like, listen, I just started my blog last year and we are already seeing some really great numbers, like numbers like, let's just say in the hundreds of thousands of page views. And of course that caught my attention. Like, wow, brand new blog, hundreds of thousands of page views. What are they doing over there? Then I got busy with the conference and, you know, 1,000 other things. And then I just got another direct message not too long ago. And she told me, guess what? The numbers are doing even better. And now we're in the millions of page views every month. Can you even fathom that? Can you think about starting a blog and then a little over a year later, you're getting millions of page views? And I just think, wow, what are they doing over there at Pinch of Nom? They've got to be doing some great things. And so I decided, you know, I asked Kay, could you be on the show and talk with me a little bit about that? And I'm just, you know, I really enjoyed the conversation with her. And I could just tell immediately one of the reasons she's doing such a great job is because she's so engaged in the story of her site, more so than just, you know, I don't know how to explain this exactly, but it's like, you know, if you go to your family doctor and they just take care of your cold versus understanding who you are as a person and your whole health picture. Does that make kind of sense? Like, if you just look at every person who comes to your site as a visit versus everybody who comes to your site as having a story and they're engaging in your story. And that's kind of what I got out of this discussion with Kay, is building your tribe in a way that they're engaged with your story as well as the blog is engaged with their story. I thought that was so profound and so interesting. And of course, we talk about a million other things too, like, you know, we talked about like what is the formula for success and how you can throw that formula out and just follow your own thing. And I think that's the real beauty of what Kay has to say today, is that if you think there's some handbook out there and you're in search of that handbook, well, guess what? You get to create your own handbook. I mean, it's like the secret, it's almost like, welcome to the Wizard of Oz. The secret has been with you this whole time. You know what you have to do. You are the one that needs to follow what your path is. Quit worrying about how every other food blogger is doing things and follow your own vision. And I think that feels empowering, also but a little bit scary because, right, there's a chance that you're going to do things and it's not going to be right. But you get to follow that journey and you get to see how your audience reacts with that. And I don't know, I just feel like that's a really exciting path to be on. We also talked about things like, well, let me just say, this was a gloriously meandering conversation. We cover things like Facebook, building a team behind the scenes, knowing your niche, knowing how to say niche, affiliates, sponsored posts, how to build trust with your audience. How do you handle imitation when other people, imitate the work that you're doing? And does that make you feel terrible? Does it make you feel, okay? Does it, help you realize you're on the right track? All of those kinds of things. We also talk about blogging as a business and how that can hold you back if you're not careful. Just all of that stuff and so much more. It is a really long, delicious discussion. So you know what? I think we should just get right to it. Here's today's feature interview with Kay Featherstone of Pinch of Nom. Hey everyone, I'm so happy to have Kay Featherstone. She's of the site Pinch of Nom. She's on the show today. Hey Kay, welcome to the Chop Podcast.
Hey Marley, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
I can't tell you how excited I am to have you on the show today. I'm just really looking forward to talking to you about all the things, but let's get started. And I think the best way would be if you could just tell everybody a little bit about your background and how it is that you came to start your blog, Pinch of Nom.
Oh, it's a really long story. I'll kind of paraphrase and make it. Oh no, it's very long and arduous and a tale of discovery. And yeah, I'm not going to hype it up too much. But no, where do I begin? Yeah, it's been a really crazy kind of year for us. We only set up a year ago. Well, just over a year ago, in January 2016. Mm-hmm. And we only did it because of a couple of things. I lost my job. And we had the blog anyway. It's kind of like a little sideline. My other half, Kate, she's a chef. We cook a lot and we like to eat a lot. And we decided to we went on a really big health kick last January. We joined a slimming club, kind of similar to Weight Watchers over there in the States. We joined that. And then we came back from our first meeting and we were like, we need to show people how to cook. So literally, that's what we did. And so me being me and a bit odd, I like computers a bit too much, decided to I repurposed our really naughty food blog because we had nothing but cakes and bad things on there. Pulled all that down. Yeah. Pulled all that down and then I don't know, we just set it up and it went from there. And yeah, it's been a bit crazy since. That's the only way I can explain it.
We can get into more of that in a minute. I really am excited to talk with you about, the wild ride you've been on this year. But can you talk a little bit about this diet program that you're on? Because I had never heard of it before.
You're not the only one.
I know, and I feel so out of touch. Like, what's going on with that?
Oh, you're not. I think everybody that I've spoken to, apart from there's a few people in Texas that are aware of this. So it's basically a diet called Slimming World, and we can eat certain foods, and certain foods carry point values, but also known as sins, and I don't know why they're known sin. Yeah, but exactly SYN. I think it's they decided to copyright it, but still, I completely digress.
And is it like sin? So it's like bad for you if you eat those foods?
I think the meaning that they put to it is it stands for synergy foods, and they're basically foods that you can indulge in so you don't fall off the wagon, but you can only indulge in so many per day. So you get like 15 sins a day, and each sin is roughly around 20 calories. So it's something like an extra 300 calories of something per day.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but that just made me think, like, could you imagine if there was a religion where they would say, okay, everybody, we know you're going to sin, right? Well, so let's say that you're going to get 10 cents a day.
Oh, some people would be so, yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, that'd be so funny.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's
Childish
completely
brain.
fine. Everybody that does Slimming World thinks the same thing. It's quite
Okay,
funny,
good.
actually. But no, I mean it's a really hard diet actually. In terms of it's just difficult to kind of convert things that you used to eat before into friendlier things.
I see.
And it is kind of a skill. It's a bit difficult. Even
So
we
there's like a
find it
complexity to it, and you all kind of figured out that complexity and spelled it out for people.
Yeah, and put it in a way that they can, I don't know, it's just stuff that they like to eat. You know, like people like spaghetti bolognese, like real proper, like comfort foods, but that are friendly to the diet. And
I see.
It's kind of a cool niche.
It is. And is this a relatively new diet, or has this been around a while?
It's been around here for over 20 years, which is really kind of mad. It's bigger here than Weight Watchers.
Oh,
It's that big. In fact, they've not long been in the States. The diet varies ever so slightly, but it's the same principles.
I see.
But yeah,
have you found that diet has been good for you? You've really enjoyed it?
Yeah. I mean, we've lost nearly 200 pounds between us in a year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. It's really, it has changed our lives in a kind of a big way. And I don't mean to be like, yeah, it's changed our life, but it has.
Yeah. You're an evangelist now. Speaking of religion, now you're an evangelist.
Oh no, we're going down a path.
I know. Let's not go there.
Yeah, it's not a good topic of conversation. Not with the world at the minute.
I know, I agree.
But no, I mean, like, I've lost nearly 100 pounds. We'll see how I do tomorrow. But Kate's lost, like, a lot as well. We've lost a lot of weight. But we enjoyed food far too much before. Like, we used to have a restaurant, and kind of the way that we would, I don't know, the way that we would celebrate events was, yeah, we're just going to eat a load and drink a load. As most British people do. It's what we do. Yeah, let's celebrate with a drink. Or here, have some trifle.
Have you heard of Dr. Phil?
Yes, I've heard of Dr. Phil.
So he was talking to some woman who was trying to lose weight, and he talked about she was eating all this food and it was like a party in her mouth, and I'm like, yes, exactly, that's right.
State
I
the
never
obvious.
forgot that. Yeah. Sometimes it does feel like that, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we really like food. We're really into barbecue as well, in a really big way.
Is that big over in England?
No,
or is
not
that...
at all. Not at all. Sadly, I even have a big green egg, which people in America have. Which I know, yes, the vast majority of this audience is American, but over here they don't know what the hell they are.
What is it again?
A big green egg. It's like a special sort of grill. It's an egg, and it's good for ribs.
Okay. I'm from Kansas City, and we're like the capital of grilling. So, but then of course I'm vegan, so I don't really participate in that too much.
Well,
weird.
Exactly. No, you're not weird at all. No,
I can accept it. I'm in the middle of the Midwest, and I can accept it. It's all right.
Oh, we get some looks now though with this diet.
Do you?
Yeah, eating out can be interesting. Interesting. But it isn't too bad. I mean, we there are ways to work with it, and it's not too bad at all.
Well, congratulations to you, because I think it's even doubly hard. Not only, you have a love of food, you have an interest in cooking, and you have a food blog. I just feel like weight and food blogs can be very, tricky things.
They can be. I think there should be like a self-help group somewhere. It can be so difficult. Yeah.
Yes, because like I could be like all fine, and then I get on Instagram and like all this gorgeous food. It's like I'm hungry all of a sudden.
Especially when if you're a part of any recipe share groups, it's just like, oh no, not another cake, please, not another.
Because they can't just share a picture of a cake. It's like a cake with like chocolate oozing out of the side. Like
I'm salivating. Look, I'm having to wipe my mouth.
I know. So tell me, did you have an interest in cooking before you started the blog? I mean, I know you love food, but that doesn't always necessarily mean you like to cook.
Yeah, I mean, we used to have a restaurant.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yeah, which is crazy. Kate had the restaurant for like 12 years. And her parents were really ill. We closed the business. And it was weird. We went through kind of like a horrible period of mourning a child being lost in our business. And we did not like to cook for a good few years afterwards.
Because you felt the loss of the restaurant?
Yeah, it was really weird. And kind of with the blog and everything that's gone along with it, we've rediscovered like our love of, we like to stand in the kitchen and work out how this ingredient works with this ingredient. And we completely lost that. And it's so weird. We were talking about this before. And look, I like standing in the kitchen again. And it was really horrible, actually. It was just, it was crap.
I think having a restaurant's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. We were working like 100 hours a week plus. Easy. Easy. And we kind of do that now, but in a different way.
Yes. Because it's on the work on the blog, right?
Yeah. And it's a lot different. I don't know, it is as demanding in some ways, certainly not physically, but definitely mentally. When you've got all these people.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about your phenomenal success, because I'm just, you shared some numbers with me. I don't know if you want to go into those now, but I'm just flabbergasted. I'm so surprised and so excited for you.
I mean, it was really weird. Do you know what? I'm going to bring something up just so I can look at it, so I can be like, yes, we did this. Let me look at Google Analytics, because I live in analytics. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's very sad.
I think it's really cool.
It is and it isn't. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm not one of these bloggers that obsessively checks.
Yes.
But I will look throughout the day to see how it's going, to see if I need to do something to up it. Which can be
even in a particular day, there are things that you can do that you feel like can have an impact. Like
definitely. 98%.
I'm just curious now, while you're looking at that number up, I'm just curious. Can you tell me, like, what is an example? Like, you might share something on Pinterest or something to get more people talking about it?
Yeah, for us, it's all Facebook. 98, I think, hang on, let me check. It's something like 80% of our traffic comes via Facebook.
Wow.
Rather than everywhere else. Our audience is on Facebook. They live and breathe Facebook, which is great because we do it with them. We live and breathe it too. But no, it's mad. It's really mental. We can share something in our group, in our Facebook group, and it just it will just go viral. It's mental.
Wow.
Really
so it could be a video, or you might reshare something that you've already posted, or you'll share something new. I got you. Okay.
It can be anything. Yeah. And it just, yesterday, Cajun chicken pasta. We first put it up in June last year.
Yeah.
And we reshot it because we were so ashamed of our photography from last year. I think everybody goes through this. We've all been
there, yeah.
And we're like, yes, we can now use the camera in manual mode. So finally.
And you know what manual mode means.
Yes. And you know what an f-stop is. It's like rejoice. So yeah, we reshot that recipe last week, and I posted a snippet on our group, and everyone's like, "We're on the recipe now." It's already up. It's been up since June. Go and look at it. And they did, and I think there was like 600 people on the site at once. It was nuts.
That is nuts. It always cracks me up, the people who respond to a particular Facebook post and they'll say, "Recipe, please." It's like, you don't get this. So you click on the post, and that's where, you click on the photo and whatever.
It's the story of my life. We decided to set up a Facebook group in May last year, kind of to go alongside the group, because we were members in loads of Facebook groups, and then the admins get a bit cranky because you're posting your recipes, and we bumped into one particular admin. We were like, do you know what? Stop this. We're going to make our own. Yeah. So we made our own.
Is it the Pinch of Nom group then?
Yeah. And we now have 160,000 people in that group.
Oh my God. Now this is different than your Pinch of Nom Facebook fan or page, right?
Yeah. They're both a bit different, but people are generally in the same kind of, people are in both. usually.
Okay.
But those that kind of, they want the extra motivation, or if they have like a question, or the amount of culinary questions we get every day is crazy. But no, if they've got something to share, or they'll just put it in the group. And it's kind of a friendly place. It can be a bit mental.
That's nice. Yeah.
But it's mad. But no, since I've just pulled up Google Analytics, circling back. It's fine. I know we're going to digress so much. Yes. But no, I mean, we've gone from having, in March last year, we had like 2,000 sessions on one day. And yesterday we had like 55,000 sessions.
In one day?
Yeah.
Wow. That is huge.
It's mad. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It really is nuts. I sit here and I'm like, what have we created? It's a monster.
It is a monster, but you must love it.
We do. We do. We are proud in a really odd way that we've just created this like Frankenstein monster but it's great because it inspires, and so many people use it, and they use it every day. And that's really nice. That is.
Yeah. Nice. And you started the blog in January?
Yeah.
Of last year.
Yep. Of last year.
I'm just surprised that you could get such a great name like Pinch of Nom. That's a great name.
I fully took inspiration from Pinch of Yum. Fully. Yes. I was like, I really like that name. We fought them for like a good fair while actually before we started it up. And I was like, we need a catchy name. We need something nice. And the word nom annoys a lot of people in our household. So it was kind of set up just to annoy those people. It's great.
Yes. So you're in your team. You're like, should we do this? Should we do? You're like trying to figure out the right name. And yeah.
I think it was a good couple of hour-long conversations of, what do we pick? What do we have?
I mean, it's a big deal because you're kind of stuck with it for a while, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go through the hassle of rebranding. Oh, no. Oh, can you imagine?
No. Too much work in that. Totally.
Far too much work.
And there's kind of a team you've got here too. Can you talk about the different people who are involved?
Yeah, so we quickly discovered early on that there are like a few other recipe sites within our niche, and they've been going for quite a while. Mm-hmm. So we were like, right, we need to do something here. We need to kind of catch up really quickly because we've got these really good recipes, but we need lots of them and quickly. Now, luckily, Kate has a lot of recipes stored in her head. She's like robot chef. Most chefs are. You ask them to make something and they're like, here it is. I'm like, how did you make it? It's like, I don't know. I just did.
Yeah. That is the hard part. It's when you're used to kind of creatively cooking and then you have to create a recipe out of it.
Yeah, it's a completely different kettle of fish. Pardon the really bad pun. It's so difficult. So, but she came and we were doing like a recipe a day. And then I bought some photo equipment and I was like, we're going to do some videos. And she's like, no, we're not. We're not doing videos. So I talked around and we started doing videos and pumping like 5 of those out a week, which was insane.
A week?
Yeah, a week.
That's amazing. That's a lot of videos. I don't know if the people are listening, if they haven't done a video yet, they're a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. And if you're not doing video yet, you should be. Please do video, people. It's great.
You think it made a difference for you all?
Massively. I'd say video is, either the first or second reason why we grew so quickly. Easily.
Wow.
Because Facebook video, especially, they're a bit more difficult now, but last year, to game that algorithm was incredibly easy with video.
Yes.
Put them out.
Facebook was just like, give us all the videos.
It was like, just feed me videos. I will spew them out to people. And that's what it did. It still does. It's a little bit harder now. They're kind of...
It's getting more competitive.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, go on Facebook and it's all it is, videos of cake. It's like, stop it. Stop showing me the cake. But no, it's just videos. But though there are ways to kind of, certainly within certain niches, to target I mean, you really have to target and you have to pay a little bit of money, but
I was
there
going
are
to ask you
ways.
that if you've ever used, a boosting a post or things like that.
Yeah, we use Facebook ads quite extensively now. We didn't used to. Well, I used to in my old job. And
Yeah.
I never
So you
thought
knew
I'd
how to
use
do
this.
it.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
it's not so much the doing it, it's seeing what works. I mean, anyone can
Ah,
boost a post,
right.
but how do you know that that post is doing better than your other post that you did last week? So it's all about playing off, like running different versions of different ads, and it's trial and error. I think a lot of our success has come from testing everything to see what works and doing more of what does work as opposed to what doesn't, which
But I think I
sounds
also
great.
hear a lot of throwing things out there and then testing to see what works, right?
Exactly. You have to go through the motions to get there, but you just have to keep doing it. I mean, a lot of people, I do it myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that didn't work. I put a video out the weekend. In fact, this did happen. I put a video out and it didn't do as well as I thought it would. And I was like, I don't think I'll bother. But you have to, you have to
Yes.
like, actually, no, we'll try it again. We'll either redo parts of the video, we'll see what works, or we'll target it at a completely different audience and see how it does.
Right. And just keep going. I see when you're talking about targeting audiences, that's where you're talking about those ads. Like you can choose different age groups and you can choose,
Exactly.
different parts of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Exactly that. And you just work out where's cheapest, what gives you the best
yes,
bang for your buck, and just keep doing it.
yes. But I
It's
keep thinking like it's such a smart idea to go like those. There's some bloggers I feel like that are just totally turned off by the idea of doing ads. However, they're really not too expensive, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck if you do it right.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you're pulling in ad revenue, or if you're
Uh-huh.
pulling in affiliate revenue, you can definitely increase that by doing ads. It's just how you go about doing them. A lot of people just will boost the post, and it's the wrong thing to do. I mean, boosting's great, but it's not targeted. Like you kind of have to really hone down on who you're trying to target. But it kind of goes back to a lot of people's niches. People don't know what their niche is. Sorry, their niche, as you would say. I used to work
I think
with, yeah,
that's a whole other conversation we could go into. Yeah.
I used to work in America. I was waiting for the question. Like, what do you mean a niche? What's a niche? What are you talking about, woman? Yeah, niche.
Now I have to ask this: is it universally niche in Europe?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know so much about in Europe, but here it's niche, not
Okay.
niche.
I don't even know where niche came from. What in the
I
world is up with
don't
that?
either. I
Yes.
think it's a French word. I'm not sure. I could be like showing
It
how
looks
stupid I
French.
am, but it does look French.
Yeah.
It could be
I just
French.
think the American English is just so messed up in so many ways.
Oh, but you get some things right. Don't get me
Huh?
wrong. You get some things right, some things so wrong. But we're not going to go there.
No, we could spend talk about digressions. I would love to talk with you about that though. But
We'd
yes,
be here
maybe
for
some other
hours.
time. I
But
just want to
no,
hear you say aluminum.
aluminium.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
funny.
I know. The first time I heard that, I was like, "What?" Sorry.
Aluminium. Yeah, it's foil.
Ah,
Aluminium foil. There you go. I'll just say it lots,
yes.
just for you, Molly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No, no, no. You were talking about something more important, and I don't remember what that was. Boosting. Oh,
It was.
niche.
I
Knowing your
think it was
niche.
niches. Knowing your niches. I mean,
Yes.
food isn't a niche anymore. Food just, to me, it's not a niche.
Yes.
I mean, my niche is so. I mean, if you think about, most Americans don't even know what Slimming World is.
Yes.
It's so restrict. I mean, most people would think it's so restrictive, but it isn't, because there's this audience which is crazy,
Yeah.
But you don't get that in other. You don't get that in other niches at all.
Right. So it's so interesting how, if somebody is trying to figure out their audience and, they're being too broad about it, or I don't know, it's just interesting to think about the different opportunities. Like my site is vegan, for example, and
Yeah,
that really could be niched down some too. I mean, I feel like some ways I'm trying to please too many people, even with that. And that's kind of crazy to think about.
isn't it? I mean, because like vegan
Yeah.
isn't a really good niche. But it is, I mean, it's kind of like niches within niches. It's kind of like Inception.
Yes.
It's like how granular do you want to get within that niche? I feel like I should be saying niche, by the way, now. I'm like, maybe I'm wrong.
Now you're self-conscious. No, I think you're right. Niche. Let's go with niche. It makes me feel smart when I say it that way, so.
Oh, that's so funny.
I like it.
But yeah, I mean, it's some niches are really broad and some can be kind of, whittled down a little bit more, but food is not a niche. It is for, I mean, some people have done food very well though.
Yes. But I was also thinking about when it comes like to distinguishing yourself, like this is a competitive field but you have this wonderful story. So you're not just like, I'm putting this food out here to fit this diet. You actually are doing it and it's made a difference in your life.
Yeah. And it helps a lot of people as well, which is really quite cool. And we completely underestimate. It's weird. We have a few team members that are based all around the UK, and we all go to group each week because it's part of the diet. You all go to meetings each week. It's kind of like AA, but not. And it's really not, actually. It's so far removed from AA. Scrap that. But yeah, it's, everyone goes to a meeting every week. And I remember saying to Kate, I was like, wouldn't it be really weird if somebody talked about our blog in group? And it happened the next week. And it was so weird. And we hear this all the time from people that have found out about us through their group sessions each week. Wow. And it's crazy.
So they're coming for more than just the recipes. They're coming for the inspiration that you're providing.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think so.
God, that's got to be inspiring to you, I would think.
It is. It's really weird. I mean, we're very modest people. We don't big ourselves up. We are, even when we had the restaurant, we were good at what we do, but we have names. We don't do the whole yes chef, no chef thing. We're incredibly grounded. But it is a little weird. It's good. It's good weird, not bad weird. But it is a little odd sometimes. It's like, what? How are these people coming to us from Saudi Arabia? And it turns out there's a massive expat community in Saudi Arabia who are expats, people here who follow the diet and love our recipes. Same in Australia, there's people over there in America, Canada, New Zealand. It's really just crazy.
Wow. And you just kind of stumbled into this because it's not like you thought, well, this is going to be the secret. This is really going to take off. You just kind of...
I mean, we just stumbled into it one night. We came home from group. We'd heard some people's food ideas and we need to help people. And we sat there for a good couple of hours when we got home and we were like, we need to help people. This is how we're going to help people. And that's what we did. And it's,
I love it.
It's crazy.
I think it's just, I talk to a lot of people who are trying to make their food blogs take off. And I think sometimes the missing story is really the story itself. You can have the pretty photos and you can have the recipes just like every other site, but what makes you stand out?
Yeah. Your USP, as the marketers would say.
USP?
Yeah. It's like, what is your unique selling point? What is unique about you? And it's, I think a lot of people miss it. They do. I mean, it's so competitive. I had no idea how competitive food blogging was.
Oh, I know. Okay, so let's go to speaking of your story. You said that you were without a job, so you decided to start this blog. Was there a point in time where you're like, okay, if this isn't a business by blah blah blah, I'm gonna have to go get another job or something like that?
Yeah, well, I kept my finger. I did some freelance consulting all through last year to kind of tide us over. Okay. But not get me wrong. I mean, things were hard for a couple of months.
Tight.
You're very tight. We were like, yes, let's spend some of the savings. Let's spend all the savings. It was, the last year has been so tough because we had so much traffic, especially in the summer of last year. Our hosting was like, well, we can't get by on this little package we've got anymore. We have to spend out on hosting. And, that was horrible. And then, oh, yeah, it was really interesting.
Talk about spending money to make money, right? Like you have to buy the higher hosting, but at the same time,
you're like, I don't want to spend like so many dollars on hosting. It's crazy. But yeah, it was really, really difficult. But we said to ourselves, we'll give it till next March. So which is just literally at the end of, we were like, give it to the end of next March. If we're not pulling even, at least, or if we're, then we'll just, give it off and do something else.
now, you don't have ads on your site, is that right?
No, we have ads. We have ads.
Oh,
We
you
love
do? Okay.
Mediavine, yes, a lot. Hello, Mediavine.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Love
Mediavine.
you.
They are the best.
They are, do you know, we only stumbled upon them completely by
Really?
accident last year. Yeah, we had Google AdSense on the site. And I
Okay.
was like, wow, look how much it was a lot of money to us. And we were like, I made like £180 on the site in ads in like 2 months. Like, wow, this is amazing. And then we found Mediavine and we were like, holy smokes.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's great.
Yes.
I love Mediavine.
Ah, that's
I love
and I'm sure they were thrilled to have you on their program too, right?
I didn't know what they thought at first. It's like, we've only been going for a few months. I don't know how any of this works. Can you explain?
Oh,
But yeah.
well, they're the best people to be working with then because they really, I mean, I feel like they could really, how to say this, like bring you along, like they could show you a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and they kind of invest a lot in people as well. It's great. I remember speaking to them. I got an instant answer. And I've worked in SaaS before and
Yeah.
developing and a startup in America, well, in Canada and in America, and like online to get an answer that someone's happy with and to set an expectation is so difficult.
Yeah.
And they did it from the get-go and it really impressed me. And
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know who AdThrive were at that point. I didn't know who anyone was apart from AdSense and that they were the bane of my life. And I was like, yes, Mediavine, hello. But no, they're fab. Really, really good.
They were at our conference last year, and I everybody there is just wonderful. I'm very impressed with their customer service, everything. They're pretty amazing.
They are like, very impressed. I'm going to stop kissing Arthur.
I'm not trying to I don't want you to go into the details unless you want to, but I'm just curious what you look at as your major monetizing. Is it ads, or do you also do sponsored posts and things like that?
It's kind of a mixture of all three now. We do make a fair bit off ads, but we also do a lot of sponsored stuff. And because of our niche, can't help but hesitate before I say it. Stop it, Kate. Stop it.
Just do it.
But because of our niche, it's a bit restrictive for the brands that we can work with. So we decided to do things a little bit differently. And we approached some brands within our niche and said, look, we will charge you so much for product placement. They do it on TV. Why not do it on our website? And we got a few of them to sign up. It's great.
What a smart way to do it. You know
Guaranteed
who's in
income every week, every week, every month. They're happy. We're really, really happy. And they got their prices locked in for a while, which is nice. Very nice now.
Yes.
But we got over 19 million reach in 2 months for one of them.
Oh my God, that's huge.
Crazy. So it's really, really paid off. But I think doing things differently, not kind of following the crowd and doing the same that everyone's doing. But I mean, because sponsored posts can be so restrictive. You do the work, you put the work out, and that's it. Everyone's happy, and you come away with some cash. They get a recipe or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just need to kind of do things a little differently.
Yeah, I think what I don't like about that model so much is that I feel like a cog in the wheel. I'd like to sometimes know what the wheel is, and I don't. Does that make sense?
Perfect
if they're
sense.
trying to promote their product, but I don't know exactly what it, what are the other things that they're doing to promote the product, and how do I fit in with that? And I don't know.
Exactly.
Sometimes I feel like I want to know more.
Exactly. And sometimes sponsored posts can be like with one product and say they have like 20 different products.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
well, why don't we and I think, for us and for my readers, it's been a bit more organic and a bit less forced. It's like, we use this every day when we cook. You should use it too. rather
Yeah.
than, oh, they've got this new thing, you should use it because it's new.
Ah, yes. I think you come in because you came out into it kind of fresh and, you said that you didn't know all these things. That kind of gave you a really cool, fresh perspective to
Yeah.
everything. You weren't trying to do it just like everybody else. You were just doing it.
Yeah, and we weren't a member of too many. I mean, we joined a couple of food blogger groups in the summer. And I
Yeah.
was like, look at all these things that I should be doing. What? And
I
we so
know.
weren't doing. And we're catching up now, but it is different. It's very odd actually. When you start out on your own and you're not aware of what everyone else is doing, and then you're suddenly aware of things that you kind of think that you should be doing, can be a bit daunting. And sometimes you've got to just step back and be like, actually, no, I don't need to do all those things. I want to do
Yes,
my
they're kind
thing.
of like busy. They're busy work things.
Yeah,
Right?
and you can get so pent up. Say, for instance, we're doing the whole recipe card optimization thing, and we've
We
got
are too.
so
Yes.
many, and we've got so many more to do. But it's so tempting to just focus on that and not do
Yeah.
recipes. I mean, it's like, no, don't do that. It's bad. But it is difficult.
You have to do it all.
You have to do it all. Yeah.
Do it all well.
I know.
No,
It's Go on.
I love your story because I think in some ways we're all telling ourselves these stories like we have to do X, Y, and Z. And maybe you don't have to do X, Y, and Z. Maybe you can just do Z or something like that.
And if you're really good at Z, then it's good,
Yes.
right?
Right.
It's.
Yes.
I think I don't know. It's weird. Everything's weird to me, by the way. I say that a lot, but it is weird how how everyone wants to be really good at everything. For instance, I'm awful at Pinterest, which I know sounds crazy. Given I've looked at other people's stats, and I'm like, how much traffic do you get through Pinterest? I get something like 2%, and you get how much?
Yes.
But we do Facebook well, and I think if you do something really well and you're good at it, keep doing it. I mean, don't stop. Don't pull yourself away from the things that you're good at just to focus on something that may not work out. But at the same time, you should really, because you never know. Damned if you do.
I see what you're
damned if
saying.
you don't.
Maybe dabble in it a little. Huh?
Exactly. Or if you don't, learn lots about it. I mean, you don't have to do it, but you can learn. You can certainly read.
Yes. Now you said three revenue models. You talked about ads and sponsored posts. Do you have a third?
Yeah. What's the other one? Oh, affiliates. Yes, Amazon. Yeah,
right.
Amazon. I love you, Amazon. Amazon EU is slightly different to the US model, though.
Oh, how is it different?
Well, you guys have just had some new rule changes about commissions, and we've had those for a couple of years now. So
okay.
we've had to live with them.
Well, I'm in Missouri, and we were not even
You
allowed to
can't
be
even get them at all. It's like,
Yes, but now
what?
they let us in. We're back in now.
Hooray!
Yes, I have a little party over here.
I bet you are. I remember hearing it actually on one of your other podcasts. I was like, what? Why not?
I know. It's terrible. It's a very big political discussion, and I won't get into how much I hate our state legislature. But however, it's all over. I forgive them now. So
I bet now that you're back in, hooray!
yes. Yeah, it's like I forget all about it now. It's all good.
Yeah, you're all forgiven. You're forgiven. I've got
Now
my
I have the struggle of going through and adding those, the links in. So it's like, but I
See,
won't.
that's a lot of work as well. I feel
Yes,
that
it
affiliates is a lot of work. And
Yes.
it isn't even stuff that brings you, I don't know, there's a couple of ways that you can do affiliates, but on the whole, affiliates doesn't equal traffic for you, which sounds really
Right.
odd. But it kind of doesn't. You're benefiting somebody else. Okay, you're getting a bit of a kickback, which
Yeah.
is great when the hosting bill comes in at the end of the month. But
Yes.
it can be a little bit difficult, affiliates. They can
Yeah.
be, yeah.
What I hate is when a brand reaches out and they're like, we'd like for you to mention our product and we'll put you on an affiliate program. Well, I have no interest in
It's
doing
like,
it that
I
way.
don't want an affiliate program. I need to pay my
Exactly.
bills. Affiliates gotta pay
Yes.
for my bills.
Right.
Yeah. I had one of those the other day. Like, we can offer you 20% of sales. I was like, I don't want 20% of your sales.
Yes. I do not want to do that. And I
I
just
might
don't.
just sell one. I don't
Yes.
want to just
Get
sell
the
one.
product on Amazon and then I'll mention it.
Yeah, well, exactly, because Amazon's a lot easier because
Yes.
you're likely like us. We spend a fortune on Amazon each month because we like kitchen gadgets because we're slightly obsessed, as we all are.
Yeah.
That kitchen cupboard gets bigger and bigger and busier and busier each month. But Amazon's great because a lot of the products that we use every day that we like and we actually use, we don't just say, yeah, you should buy this because it looks good.
Right. Yes.
Don't get me
You're talking
started.
about products that you actually use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or products that a brand decided to send us, which is really, yeah, we had a grater sent to us. Like, we got an email saying no strings attached. And that, when a brand sends you an email and they're saying no strings attached, that doesn't mean no strings attached.
Yeah, exactly.
But it actually turned out to be one of the greatest products that we've ever used in the history of culinariness in the past, like in Kate's 30-year professional chefing career.
Wow.
And we were like, we're going to recommend this to our readers because it's amazing. Like, you've got to watch it 'cause it's a bit sharp. You've got to watch the ends of your fingers.
Watch your fingers.
But it's a really good product. And yeah, affiliates for us is good because I think our readers trust that because we use this stuff all the time, because we actually do, that they should use it too. But no, I like
And I
affiliates.
think that's so important, that level of trust. Like, it's so easy especially if you're in the position where you're not making as much money, you're trying to get there. Like, it would be easy to kind of like sell your soul to try to get some money. But I think you're kind of hurting yourself in the long run if you do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you see bloggers who do affiliates. I'm not slagging people off, but you see people that recommend things that people really, you're like, why would they use that?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like as a reader, like I follow some really big blogs that aren't food related, they're kind of tech related. And I'm like, why are you recommending that when it's crap? Like, why? Just because you're getting a really good kickback? Don't do that, And I
Right.
think that readers can kind of, I mean, obviously you need to disclose so they know that you're getting a kickback of sorts, but
Right.
it definitely helps to be a little more transparent.
Yes, I completely agree. I sometimes get frustrated with what I feel like are the requirements of transparency of bloggers compared to other people like,
Oh, yes.
I mean, I always like to talk about Oprah or, like, I mean, what are the chances like she gets a free night hotel that she's going to say, this night of hotel was paid for, or I don't know. That kind of stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah. Don't get me started. It drives me nuts.
You have the same things there?
Yep. Oh, definitely. You have is it the FDA? Is it?
FD, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
No, it's the FEC.
That's the one. Oh, do you know, I should know. I used to work over there for God. Ugh. Anyway, we have some government agency.
FTC, Federal Trade Commission.
That's it, of course.
Yes.
Net neutral. Yes. We're all very up on your politics at the minute. It's like, yes, we know what it's like to be you.
I waste hours of my time obsessed with our politics. So yes,
We do too. Don't worry. It sucks.
it's like watching a train wreck. You can't not watch it, but you want to not watch it. You just can't help yourself. Yeah.
I know. Before I came on this call, I was like, "What do you do?" But anyway, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
How angry I'm getting. It's ridiculous. I don't even live there. But no, we have.
And you only live here and you're sick of it.
I'm gritting my
Yeah,
teeth.
I know the
I'm just
feeling.
like, "What are you doing?" No. Well, we're just as bad though. Anyway, we have some little government agency that gives bloggers guidelines. There you go, guidelines. They're not exactly enforced and not many people follow them. We do to a T because I like to be transparent with people. We should be.
Yeah.
But not everybody does. And it grinds my gears. I think that's fair to say. It drives me mad.
Yes.
But I try not to let things annoy me because everything annoys me. Yeah.
Is there anything about food blogging that, let's talk about those guidelines aside. Is there anything else about food blogging that is just like driven you crazy?
I would say the competition, when people get angry that somebody else has ripped them off, that annoys me. in as much as the ripping off doesn't annoy me, because at the end of the day, imitation is the finest form of flattery.
Right.
If somebody imitates one of your recipes or takes inspiration, you should be really happy.
Yeah.
And instead of getting angry, just channel it into doing even better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to kind of like this. I sometimes get so narky and just so annoyed with things sometimes. And I'm like, you just have to stop. And you just have to say, how am I going to make the situation better? And normally it's me going, well, I'm going to get more traffic this month.
Yes.
And
it's happiness is the best revenge. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just taking that step back and just being like, do you know what? I'm not going to let this bother me. Just put it into something that you want to do, and not something that's going to eat you up and get you all annoyed and angry. And I say that as I'm looking at one-on-one. I've just replied to my DMCA notice about somebody ripping off my stuff. But still, yes.
Well, now there's a difference between somebody using your recipe as inspiration, right? And,
well, exactly.
And word for word ripping you off.
Oh, yeah. And complete with the author photograph and everything. Yeah. Oh.
If you're going to steal a photograph, make sure it's a good one. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. There's so many of these scraping sites now. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
But no, it is one thing that annoys me though with food blogging is the competitiveness, and people get into slanging matches with one another over these things. It's like, no, don't just channel it elsewhere. Just let it go over your head.
I have the best way of making sure that your information is never stolen. And that is, you just don't put it out there.
Yeah. You keep it inside your head.
Yes, that's right. Nobody will ever steal it that way.
But that's no fun, because you're not going to inspire anyone. And
Exactly.
It's one of those. Yeah.
I don't know if you have ever read Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic. Have you read that?
Nope. I'm not even going to say yes, but no.
Okay. She talks about ideas as like these, I don't know, it's a little bit on the woo-woo side, but I still kind of buy into it. That
I like that. It's on the woo-woo side. Yeah.
It's a Missouri thing. That's what we say here. But she talks about ideas are just like these entities, and they're seeking to be found and made manifest. And so if an idea lightens on you, and you don't use it, it's going to move on to somebody else anyway.
That's so true. That is just so true.
I know.
I mean, people get annoyed that, I thought of this first, and it's, so-and-so ripped me off and they've done this, but just get on with it. Just, just do it. And part of me is just because I'm stubborn, and, I don't like to dwell, I hate to dwell on things. It can eat you up if you let it. And I've seen it happen to people before, and it's just, it's like, just move on.
And go be your own beautiful self, making your own rest. Just keep going. Just keep doing. You're doing the right thing. People are copying you. That's going to happen.
Exactly. And it's not a bad thing if they copy you. It's like you're setting trends. That's how you should look at it.
I mean, you could look at musical groups. You could look at movies. I feel like sometimes two movies will come out that are very similar plots, or there are, I mean, I just feel like this kind of stuff happens all the time. So just get over it and move on.
I mean, George Lucas must sit there every night going, oh, for God's sake, let's have a film that's just like one of mine.
Exactly.
It's nuts, but I'm sure he doesn't.
Right.
I'm sure he goes, ha ha ha, look, another one. Look what I've started.
Yeah, so, right. Do you want to like spend all your time just, I kind of feel like it's a way of like procrastination, or a kind of way of like making yourself stop. Like, I'm not even going to do this anymore because people just copy me. Yeah.
It's weird. People just, I don't know. I think people can just be just sad sometimes. It's like, come on, uplift your mood and just get on with it. Yeah. I mean, as Brits are kind of renowned for sweeping the crap under the carpet and getting on with it. Like, we're leaving the EU, but we don't care.
Yes.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Stiff upper lip, is that where that comes from?
Exactly. But sometimes you have to, especially in business. And I don't really see my blog as I kind of do and I don't.
You don't see it as a business?
Not really. Well, deep down, yeah, but on the surface, no. I would obsess far too much about it if I thought of it like that.
What do you think of it as then?
Oh, it's like a baby. No, it's not. I have 2 cats. They are my babies.
They are your
Don't
baby.
have children, and nor do I want any. But no, they. It is kind of, I don't know. What do I see it as?
Like like a fun project.
Yeah, I think it's something that we like to do. I like to pick people's brains. We do that all the time. We'll ask in the
Yeah.
groups like, "What do you want to eat tonight?" You know, and we'll ask people,
Yes.
"What do you want to eat?" And we'll pick like 5 or 6 recipes, and we'll go and do them for people. And I don't know. I think it's it's really similar actually with the restaurant. We just made people happy, which sounds so corny. but we did, and we kind of do that now, just in a different way. Instead of cooking for them, we give them the tools, kind of, if they apply them properly, that they can make themselves happy.
Yes. And I know that you do some meal plans too, right? That's kind of part of it.
Yeah, we've started doing those from January. They went a bit crazy, actually. We need to get back on that. That's a really good point, Marley. Thanks for reminding me.
Thank you. I'll send you my bill.
Your check is in the post. Yeah, we just try and make it as easy as, because it's not an easy diet to follow. It's not. I mean, it's like being vegan. Being vegan is difficult.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to make it as easy as possible, so that these people, with quite often they have kids, they really, they have a job, their husband has a job, there's lots of things to do, and just to try and make it as easy as possible.
So you're saying I should do maybe I should do meal plans on my site then too.
They're really good, they're great for page views.
Ah, cool. Because a lot of people will download them and yeah, that makes sense.
Tie people in for the week. They have to look at your website every day.
Do they have to? I mean, I'm sorry, I haven't clicked on I've seen them, but I haven't clicked on them.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Do they have to like sign up for your newsletter to actually get them, or is it just right there on the page?
See, I'm not that mean. I should be. See, this is another thing that I feel that I should be doing. It's one of those where people say you should build your newsletter.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't want to build my newsletter anymore because it will cost me a fortune.
Just add up really fast.
Do you know what I mean? And it's you have to look at what brings you the traffic. For us, it's the Facebook group. It's like 10 times as many people click through from the Facebook group than they do my newsletter. So why should I?
I think if you had a product that you were, maybe not now, but eventually you're going to be selling some things, I think having a newsletter list is really smart. But okay, so I want to ask you something. You talked about your team. I'm just curious if you could name them. I think you named Kate, and then I missed it after that. But
so you've got Kate. Kate's obviously she's my other half. She's my partner in crime. We've been together for like 14 years now. It's not too long, but like you live and you work together, and it can get really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing videos. Yes.
For those who don't know, we were just talking about that sometimes when Sean and I are shooting videos together, I get kind of cranky, but he loves me anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, same here. It's great.
You're the cranky one? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm the cranky one. Although I don't know, she can get pretty cranky too. But she's not here to defend herself, so
that's right. You could say whatever you want.
No, because she'll listen to this and she'll just give me the look. And, the look, that look.
That look, that's right.
Yeah. So there's me and Kate. There's a girl called Emma who we bumped into via our Facebook group. We were talking about, I think it was the finale of Game of Thrones, and everyone was getting a bit excited. And just randomly we got talking about Game of Thrones, and we'd seen on the group she put some pictures of some food up, and it looked really, really good. And she was a stay-at-home mum who worked a couple of days a week. And yeah, we asked her, like, do you want to write some recipes for us? And she's still here nearly a year later. And she's fab. Emma, we owe a lot to Emma. Emma's great. She's also crazy. We're all a bit crazy, but yeah. But she follows the diet as well. Well, we all follow the diet. But Emma doesn't go to group, so she brings a perspective that nobody else can.
Oh, nice.
And then we've got Michael, who's like our resident vegetarian. He's also a little crazy. Yes, he's our resident veggie, who is he's lovely, and he's going to kill me for saying this about him. He's like, why do you have to be nice about me? But he is. He's actually the first person that we bumped into. He messaged me at the same time I messaged him, which was very strange on Instagram.
That is.
And he's like, we should do something together. I'm like, do you know what? I agree completely. And yeah, he does recipes he takes the most amazing pictures. So Michael does recipes for us, and then we have some group admins who are the people that we brought on to admin the group, because the group also grew really quickly, just like the website did. But the group is a lot more, I don't know, it's easier to manage the website because people aren't talking all the time. But in the group, we approve something like 500 posts a day in the group.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I remember when I started it, Kate's like, you did what? We do not have the time. I was like, we will make the time. She's like, we do not have the time. And
so you were right about the videos and you were right about the Facebook page. You're doing pretty good.
But for every right idea, there's like 20 that have gone horribly wrong.
Oh, I know the feeling.
I will wake up at like 3 a.m. I'm like, we should do this. And she's like, no, we shouldn't. Go back to sleep. Last week's idea was, we're going to hire a team of writers.
Yes.
Yeah. And
that's going to be so great. It's going to be perfect, right?
It's in progress. It may work. It may not. We shall see.
Stay tuned. We'll have to get an update.
Let's hope it works. But no.
Do you think there's some value to having this team? Like there's some accountability there, right?
Definitely. And it helps to bounce ideas off people.
Ah, so true.
Because blogging is such a lonely thing.
It is so lonely.
It's so lonely, and it can be really insular, and it can be just very, I don't know. I think I was really shocked coming into food blogging how secretive people are. Like, I was so shocked. I was like, why is nobody talking about these things? And it was really weird. Like, I was like, why is nobody talking about this? Why aren't people talking about how they take pictures? And they do. They actually are. I just wasn't looking in the right places. But there's a lot of things that aren't talked about. Like ads, for instance.
That's one of the reasons I started this podcast, right? Is like, let's talk about some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's like, get it out there. Get it off your chest, at least, for your own sanity, if not somebody else's. And it may help someone. But yeah, it was so bizarre how people just weren't talking. I was a bit shocked. But no, it certainly helps having a team to bounce it off. I mean, they also do a lot of work. They put together reports that we send to the brands each month for product placement. They work on recipes. They're constantly on the group. There's always some drama on there. There's always somebody posting something that it shouldn't be. There's always some blogger spamming something. There's always something to deal with.
Yes.
And that takes up a lot of our time. And I try and take a step back away and just be like, no, and we need to look at the bigger picture and not get drawn into something so much. But it certainly helps to kind of just to spread everything out, because otherwise I go mental. Even more mental than I am now.
There's so many bloggers out there trying to do everything themselves. And this, I don't know, like for me, I worked in an office and I loved the times where we would come together in meetings and brainstorm ideas and figure out the best way to do it. And I feel like you kind of have brought that into your food blog, and that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, drink time. But yeah, it's, I'm sat here, I'm parched. It's roasted in this room. I'm not entirely sure why. But no, it's so difficult to kind of, to see the wood for the trees. And I hate speaking in metaphors and such things, but it's so difficult when you're trying to do everything. To see that bigger picture is so difficult. But having people there to help, I mean, they can just be friends, they can be readers. I mean, if you've been going for a while and you have a readership, and you chat every so often with a particular reader who's full of fab ideas, use them to your advantage. I mean, we all try and pitch in So it's not like there's not one particular person doing loads and loads of work. But no,
Yes.
we meet up. I think we're going away next month as a group. And we're picking up the tab, and it's nice to be able to do things with a group of people. And it turns out we've turned into immensely good friends. I
Oh,
mean,
that's wonderful.
they're WhatsApping me now. How is it going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's just such a great story of, great success. I mean, do you have a vision for where you're going to take things in the future? Or are you just riding the wave and seeing where it goes?
I don't know. I'm kind of riding the wave.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to go. I'm looking at my Google Analytics graph for the past year, and we had a peak in August. We got featured on some, the Great British Cooking Show that you guys
Yes.
So we, out of some weird, one of the team thought of a recipe on the Monday, right? And did it on the Monday night. So it was ready for the Wednesday. And it just turned out that this recipe was like the first recipe that they did on that night's show.
Yeah.
And we got like 50,000 page views in one day. And everyone was like, oh my God, like, you've just saved my life. I was drilling at the TV and you've got the recipe and you're amazing. And we had so many page views that day. The website went down. I had to like try and keep it up, and it was it was horrible. But I'm looking now, and like our traffic is like double what that one day was.
Wow.
And it's just like, well, what's going to happen now? Is it going to carry on? Is it not? Is it you know, it's weird. Really weird. I think we're just going to carry on and see what happens and explore different ideas, and I don't know, see if we can do different things to kind of just offer value to people and just see what happens. Because I think that's kind of the best thing. I don't like to plan. Planning's boring.
It can be really boring. I actually read that about women as leaders, they're better at, like, men will have this tendency, and I hate to overgeneralize, but I'm quoting this article, by the way, that men have this tendency to kind of lead towards a particular end, and women have a better way of leading, I shouldn't say better, a different way of leading that kind of can lead a company forward in a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah, rather than tunnel vision this is the goal. Yeah, I hear you.
So that's what I kind of hear you saying. You're moving things forward, and then you'll be able to take care, advantage of multiple, or not, whatever.
Exactly, or not. I mean, we may be sat here in like a year's time, like, yeah, we're going to do this,
Yes.
But I don't know. I kind of see it as like this progression of, we just keep doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Over the past couple of weeks, we've sat down and gone, actually, right, we're at this point now. Where do we go? Do we carry on doing what we're doing? Do we invest some money and I mean, we've got an app on the back burner that we've had on the back burner for a while. It's
an app would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things. It's like, we could do this, we could do that, we could do... And it's a case of... It's difficult to choose one. So I think we'll just do them all. No, we won't do them all, because Kate will kill me. I'll go downstairs and I'll be like, I've decided with Marley we're going to do all the things, and she'll go
Don't bring me into this.
She's like, I'm going to close my eyes now. I'm not going to listen to you.
She's going to hate me. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
She'll be like, somebody's been giving you ideas. No, I'm joking. But no, it's I don't know. I honestly do not know. I think we'll just see where it takes us this year. And I'm hoping it's going to be a good year. When we're nominated for some award next month, and
cool.
It's all just odd.
I read this article about this college campus that built the buildings, and then they kind of tracked where people walked, and then they built the sidewalks.
Wow, that's really quite clever.
Yes, quite clever. And I was just thinking, maybe that's what you're doing too. You're building the buildings, and then you're going to see where people's pathways take them, and that's where you can, slip in and monetize some things.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of a bit like this. What we've done from day one is listen to people and give them what they want.
Yeah.
I think it's so important. I mean, we constantly ask our readers questions. Like last night, I was like, right, the weather's changing. We're getting a bit of sun, which here, by the way, is a massive event. When the clocks go forward and we get an extra hour of daylight, I mean, people start putting shorts on and things. It's most bizarre.
Yes.
It was 19 degrees C at the weekend. Everyone was like, get the barbecue out. It's sunny.
Celebrate the day while it's here.
Those people who listen to this that are either British, no British people, they don't know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like this national thing. It was like, right, we must drink wine, we must eat outside, we must eat burnt food on the barbecue because nobody here can barbecue properly. So I asked people, like, what do you want to eat? Because obviously you don't want stuff that you can throw in the Instant Pot or in the slow cooker or the crock pot. You know, you don't want comfort food anymore. You want indulgence that you can eat outside.
Yes.
And, you know, people just hit us. I had like 100 people saying, I want this or I want that. I want to throw stuff on the barbecue that's, you know, Slimming World friendly. I was like, okay, I can do that.
Yes.
And that's all we do is just survey our readers. I mean, I've seen a lot of bloggers who will send out like a survey once a year and be like, yes, this is my yearly survey. We do that every day.
Wow.
Every day.
And you do that in that Facebook group?
In our Facebook group, which is mega ace.
How perfect. Because you've just got their audience just ready and willing to, you know, rather than you sitting in a room going, okay, what are the recipes we're going to do in April? Yeah. You can be, you know, actually asking them.
Yeah. And that's what your audience want. I mean, I did, I know you've had Brooke Lark on here before.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Facebook groups in her group. Because she got some capture code, and I know a lot of people, you know, a lot of bloggers share to Facebook quite often to try and, you know, capture the Facebook groups. I'm like, why are you doing? Make your own group. And it is one of those where people should make their own group. Seriously, if you haven't got a Facebook group and you post Facebook groups to target your audience rather than other bloggers. I mean, if you post to recipe sharing groups, maybe you shouldn't do one. But if you're posting to groups where your audience is, make your own, because it works.
How do you get people to, like, when you initially started it, was it hard to get people to it?
It was, actually. The first 1,000, it felt like it took forever, because I think in our heads it did take forever. It was like, oh, this was a
month.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was about a month, actually. But I think it's weird. We treated the Facebook group to grow it like we would a newsletter. So everywhere where we promote in the newsletter, we would promote in the Facebook group.
Okay.
So we put, you know, it's in the bottom of every recipe. It's in our sidebar. It goes out in the newsletter every week. It's like, look, if you want instant gratification and you want to ask us instant questions and get an instant answer, join the Facebook group. Or if you want inspiration from other people, because it isn't just about us. You know, some of our readers are just amazing at what they've achieved.
Yeah.
And it's just a case of, like, just come to the Facebook group. You can leave if you don't like it. Just come and have a look. And
now, I got to ask you a question. One more question. I'm sorry.
Well, no. It's fine.
Is there ever any controversy within this?
Yes.
What is it called? Slimming World? Like, so could there be, like, you might provide an answer that someone in the audience of your Facebook group might not agree with?
It's not happened yet. It's not happened yet. Good. There's been controversy with Slimming World itself and things in the news recently. I mean, they made front page of the papers a couple of weeks ago. Uh-oh. There was a particular sausage. There was a particular sausage that they decided wasn't very friendly anymore. And they stripped it of its SIM value, and the whole world went crazy. Well, the UK went crazy, obviously, because America didn't. And and that caused a lot of controversy within the group, like a lot. And there are some things that, you know, greater things that happen within the group that we allow people to bring into the group that have something to do with food. But I don't know, we occasionally get people being idiots. But I
Oh,
say
right.
occasionally, there's somebody every day being an idiot.
Well, with that many people, you're going to have somebody every day. Yeah.
And it is hard to keep on top of. We used to allow anyone to post to the group, but now it's by approval only. I mean,
Ah,
we quickly realized you reach a critical mass and
yeah.
it's just not sustainable. But we have really, really, really strict group rules. And it's not just because we want the power, because, we laugh, we sit there going, "Mwahaha."
Wow.
We don't. It's just
Yeah.
basically to keep the peace between people and between them and us. And it works. It now works better than it ever has done. And running that group is so much easier than it was. I don't know why we didn't do this from the beginning, but yeah.
From the beginning, yeah.
It is difficult, but that's why we have such a big admin team. I think there's like 12, 15 people now
Yeah.
who admin the
That's
group.
amazing.
So it's just like a big forum, basically.
Yeah, it's perfect. And you don't have to set up that platform. It's right there. Perfect.
Yeah,
So if you were talking to somebody new today that was new to food blogging, what is your like number one tip you would give them?
what would I give them? Oh, that's really difficult. What would I tell somebody? Don't be afraid to not follow the crowd, because when I look back at when we started, we did everything completely different to how everybody else kind of does stuff now. And that doesn't make much sense, actually. Rephrase that, Kate. So, for instance, most food bloggers will be like, you should invest time in Pinterest. Pinterest doesn't work for everyone. Just the same that, if I said, yeah, you should really do Facebook because it's great and it's so untapped. Don't be afraid to kind of to feel your own way. Don't put too much weight in what somebody else is saying, because it can be so easy on some of the Facebook food blogger groups, and everyone's like, yeah, we should do this, and everyone piles on, and you're kind of worrying like, should I be doing that? And it's having that confidence to say, actually, no, I want to do this, and see where that takes you, and actually have some courage to carry it through, to do it. And I know not everybody has that luxury, and sometimes blogging can be a case of like you have to make money to make ends meet. But if you can kind of just do what you want to do and try not to listen to the crowd too much, because you can be driven to distraction and you just end up piling your time into something that may not work for you just because it works for somebody else.
Oh,
Like
I
find your
love
own way.
that. I want to put that as a picture frame and hang it up on my wall.
But
I
it's
love
true
it.
though. It's like, don't be a sheep.
Yeah.
Just do what you want to do. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't work, then ho hum. But at least you tried,
Yeah.
And if it didn't work, maybe try do it a different way. But if you have an idea and you think that it's going to work, then do it. And the other piece of advice is work out your niche. That niche is so important, especially now. There's so many food bloggers. You need a niche, in my opinion anyway. You need a
So
niche.
just know what that is, right? Know what your niche is.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, then ask your readers to see how they would define your niche, because they're the people that can tell you.
Ah, I love it.
Listen
Okay,
to
so
them.
I have these fun questions I like to ask at the end of the interview, so I have to ask you
Go on.
these. Okay, what's one food item you can't live without?
Pasta. It's just pasta. I could eat pasta till I die every day.
That's pretty general. So, like, are you talking, fettuccine? What's your favorite?
Oh, anything fresh. We like to make our own
Ah.
pasta, so any fresh pasta. I'm a bit of, in fact, we both are food snobs. Well, obviously. But no, steak
Yes.
as well. We're big meat eaters. My dad was a butcher, and Kate, obviously being a chef, we like good meat. Yeah, a good steak.
I'm surprised that you let Michael be on your team then.
Oh, no. It's actually don't go there.
kidding.
There was a big debate at our Christmas do about the vegetarianism. Oh no. No, he's okay.
He's okay.
You have to have one oddity. It's fine.
Because who else? No, I like Michael. Michael, I'm on team Michael. Okay.
He has a fan club, actually. Everybody loves Michael.
Oh, that's good.
He's so funny. But no, he go on, carry
Okay, so
on.
what's the favorite app on your phone?
Oh, That's a tough one. Probably well, most used would be Facebook, but favorite isn't Facebook.
Yes.
I would say, I'm trying to look. Hang on, give me a sec. Oh, it's probably the solitaire game on my phone, which sounds really sad. But
No, it doesn't.
I don't sleep a whole bunch because I'm one of these crazy people that sits up all night going, we should do this. I'm going to make it happen now.
That means you're pretty dangerous at night, aren't you? Then
I'm a night hawk. I'm a proper night owl. Like, I'll stay up and I'll be like, right, I want to do this with the website, so I'm just going to do it. And Kate will get up in the morning and go, what have you broken?
What?
And I'll be like, I'm just fixing something. And that happens all the time.
So she's probably like, please play solitaire, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of like my way of just trying to zone out, just forgetting everything.
Yeah.
I'm just zoning out and trying to go to sleep.
I have something like that. I use Sudoku.
Oh, I love it. Oh, see, Sudoku I can get a bit too addicted to. Because you have to think properly.
There's an app on my phone for Sudoku, and I just love it.
Oh, I see. Because sometimes you just need to switch off. You really need to switch off. I'd say the other one's Plex, because I like to watch a lot of TV and stuff.
Ah, that leads me to my next question then. So what's
nice segue.
Favorite show? Good segue, yes.
My favorite show. Oh, I don't know. At the minute,
maybe you said it.
It's Big Little Lies at the minute. It's amazing.
I love that show.
Oh my God, it is amazing. It's just.
Did you read the book?
No, but I ruined it for myself. I know who the person is, and I'm gutted. But I love it so much.
She's one of my favorite authors, so I love her.
I'm really gutted that I haven't read it and that I didn't know about this book before they decided to do it. And I always feel
Isn't
that
the
way.
show so good? Have you finished it?
Oh, not yet. I'm at your pace, though. We're at US pace, so we can kind of. You're not going to ruin anything. Don't worry. Oh my! It's just simmering. Like it's just like it's insane. We adore
They're
it.
doing such a great job of letting you know something's going to go wrong, but you don't know exactly what.
There's so many red herrings. It's like, ooh, like who is it? Oh, it's just it's so tense.
Yes.
We sit and we watch it on a Monday, and we're like, God damn it, we have to wait another week. I think next week is going to be spectacular. But yeah.
Yes, I know. I feel the same way. Like I was watching. It's one of those shows that my husband doesn't like, so it's like a special treat that I can watch it when I'm
on your own.
Yes, I love having shows like that. But then it's like we've been doing a lot of stuff together lately, so it's like, don't you gotta go play tennis or something?
I think it's one of the best shows that I've seen in a while, and we watch everything. Like we watch Criminal Minds, we watch all the crappy stuff. We watch. I mean, we're really big Game of Thrones fans. We're really into sci-fi, but Big Little Lies is amazing. It's just,
yeah.
I'm sat here biting my nails like, what's going to happen?
I actually ordered HBO to go just so I could watch a show.
I bet you did.
Exactly.
I love HBO.
They're going to have to...
Business expense, yes.
Okay, so business expense. Now that we've talked about it on the podcast, I can write it off. I love that.
There you go.
Okay, so how can people find you online?
So they can go to our website. It's pinchofnom.com. They can go to our Facebook, which is like facebook.com/pinchofnom. Everything is basically /Pinch of Nom. We were very lucky. We got everything.
Oh, that's so great.
I know. Yeah. I've worked in for people before and setting up their social and everything else. And when it's not available, it's the end of the world. No, no, not obviously. It's not, but for me, it is. No. I'm like, no, everything does match. Yes.
Because on Twitter, I'm this. On Instagram, I'm that. And it just gets confusing after a while.
It's really confusing. But no, we were lucky enough that everything is the same.
Yes. And it's a nice, concise name, so it doesn't have a lot of letters, and it's all good.
Yeah, but it's kind of... People are like, what's nom? Because nom is like an I would say it's an Americanism. And it's a very... I don't know, the youth of today. Like, I'm 31. I feel really old. I'm like, the youth of today, like those millennials or whatever they call them, they know what nom means, but a lot of my readers are a bit older, and they're like, what does nom mean? Where does it come from? In fact, I had a lady today, where does Pinch of Nom come from? But yeah, trying to explain what nom means is amusing.
Would you just go, oh, you know, like nom nom nom?
Yeah, and then they look at you like, what are you on about?
What?
Well, you see, because people talk about yum, like yum yum yum. Like here it's yum yum. I'm like, no, it's not yum yum, it's nom nom. I
love it.
The looks I get are ridiculous. It's like, yeah, don't look at me like
ridiculous and beautiful at the same time. I love it.
It's an experience trying to explain the experience, yes.
I love it. Kay, I have had such a great time talking with you today. Thanks so much for joining me.
You're very welcome.
Thanks to Kay Featherstone for being my guest on today's episode of the Chopped Podcast. Be sure to go to choppedpodcast.com to learn more about today's show, and you can sign up for our newsletter so you'll be the first to learn about upcoming things like food blog tidbits and tools that we have coming your way. Thanks so much to everybody who has left reviews of the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher and social media, who've also sent me emails and direct messages with, just words of encouragement about the show. I'm really glad that this show is making a difference for you. Thanks so much for spreading the word. Everything that you do really helps the show out a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. You inspire me, and I hope today's show was helpful and inspirational to you as well. Now, go forth and be your best you.